What's up, everybody? Isaac here with Civil Engineering Academy. Today we are talking about the top tips and resources to help you ace the FE exam in 2022. We've helped hundreds and thousands of students actually pass these exams between the products that we have and courses that we have. And I want to explain to you some of the tips that come out of teaching other students how to ace these exams. So the very first one that I hear a lot of is that people need to understand the concepts. Now, how does that come? You understand the concepts by actually practicing the problems and really understanding, getting a better understanding of what they're asking, how they're asking it, and which equations really apply to the problems they're asking. As you go through those practice problems and you develop that kind of understanding, it trickles down to a lot of other things that are very important in passing the FE exam in 2022. And this includes the use of the conceptual or theory-based questions that they ask you. How do you get better at those? And that's simply by practicing problems and really understanding the concept of what they're asking you. Because if you truly understand the problem, you'll be able to answer these conceptual theory type questions that they throw at you using really good engineering judgment. So you can't just simply plug and chug looking up an equation in the reference handbook and think that you understand the material. You need to understand why they selected those kind of equations, why they apply to you in this particular problem. And as you do that, your mind will be triggered into understanding really why they're pointing you that way and why that's being used. And that also helps with those theory or conceptual type questions, which are just very wordy and you got to use engineering judgment on. So that is a tip that definitely want to pass on to you to help ace this exam in 2022. The second tip that I can think of is that you really need to understand the NCEES specifications. And so when you get that, do a deep dive into looking at exactly what they're asking you to understand. Don't just gloss over it and think that you can wing this exam or try to study stuff that's engineering related. That becomes your guideline on how you prepare for this exam. So don't take that lightly. Make sure you understand the specifications and you can build a schedule for study based on the topics that they're giving you. And you need to make sure you understand each concept that they have there. Is it going to take a bunch of time to prepare for that? Yeah. Is it going to suck to prepare for the exam? Of course it is. You got to get back into homework study mode. That's the nature of the beast, is that it will take some sacrifice to prepare for this exam. And that's just the nature of it. So that's the second tip. Really get to know that NCEES specifications well, so you aren't left hanging when you're preparing for this thing. All right, another tip that I have for you is time management. I can't explain to you how many people go through the exam and sometimes people don't have enough time to go through, or they feel like they're guessing too much. And usually that relates to time management and really how to tackle the format of the exam, getting through the problems in a timely manner so that you aren't guessing on a bunch of problems and not giving yourself the best possible chance to pass. Now, the way to get around this is by doing practice exams and setting yourself up in a testing environment that is actually mimicked to the real environment. So you have 110 questions. They give you about 5 hours and 20 minutes to get through all this stuff. You've got your breaks and stuff. You can chop this practice exam up so you're not having to take that in one day. Say you want to do half of a practice exam and you block off time to do that, but you set up a real life testing environment so that it's mimicked to the real deal. And if you do that, you're going to be way more prepared in taking the exam when it's time to go. You'll also have a better idea of your own time management and where you struggle with things. And by doing a practice exam, you'll be way ahead of the curve on preparing for the real deal when the time comes. So that is a tip I want to impart on you. Definitely time management is a big one. And make sure you understand that and give yourself some good practice exams in a real testing environment so you aren't left hanging on the real day. All right, another tip that I have for you is get to know the reference handbook, the FE reference handbook. You have to use that. Know what's in there, know where the graphs are, know where things are so you can quickly find that when you need to. Know how the search function works. All of those little bits and pieces Have that up right with you as you're solving problems so you get very familiar with the handbook at your disposal. Now, the real trick to this is that those handbooks, they get updated quite often. So make sure you have the latest edition. It's completely free to you if you go to NCEES and go into your account, just go download it, make sure you have the latest edition, and use that when you're studying all your problems. There's no work around that, but that is your go-to book to understanding what equations apply to you. Now, some tips regarding that handbook is that you might not be familiar with, the symbols that they use in the handbook. You might not be familiar with those because what was in a textbook might not match what's in the handbook. And even better, sometimes they might have equations that don't match each other in different parts of the book. So there's not a lot of love for the handbook sometimes, but it is your only resource, and it does have what you need to pass this exam. So make sure you become intimately familiar with using that handbook. Go get a free copy at the NCEES website and make sure you're using it with all your studies. So just wanted to make sure you got that under your belt. All right, guys, the last tip is to make sure you have great resources. Now, I run Civil Engineering Academy. I'm a founder of Civil Engineering Academy. We've produced tons of videos on our YouTube channel to help people with their FE exam, as well with their PE exam, and we have a ton of content for people. So if you're looking for practice exams, as I just mentioned, head to civilengineeringacademy.com. We've got practice exams there. Go through our playlists on our YouTube channel if you want to see practice problems there. And we also have developed courses for those taking the FE and the PE exam. So if you're preparing for the FE exam, go check out civilfereviewcourse.com, or you can find it through our website, civilengineeringacademy.com. And it has everything that you need to ace this thing at different price points that are affordable to you. So we want to make sure that you can ace this. It comes with tons of lecture modules, comes with tons of extra practice problems, and you don't have to deal with the YouTube ads and stuff that are on there. We have tons more problems there. We have a live simulator that's very similar to the real exam for the FE, so you can really get prepared on taking that exam when you're ready to go. We also have some paper-based exams as well, so you can take those in addition, and we've made them very lifelike and real to the exam as you go and take it. So there's lots of resources out there, but definitely check out Civil Engineering Academy. Make sure that's one of them. We have tons of students that have passed that exam and lots of testimonials. So if you're interested, go check it out, civilfereviewcourse.com, and make sure you get good resources to help you ace your exam. And there are plenty of them out there. So just wanted to import that out there as well. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope these tips were worthwhile to you. I know these are things that we have heard consistently through students that have taken our courses. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a subscribe and give us a like. And we will be producing a lot more content to help you with your FE and PE exam coming in 2022. So thanks for being here. Happy New Year, and we'll see you next one. Bye. Passing the FE in 2022. It's going to be good stuff. Get it done. You can do it.